Welcome to CarePod, a safe place to educate, inspire, and renew the caregiver. Listen in with our host, Dr. Kipley Bell, as she interviews different experts along the caregiving journey.
So I really have a treat today. I'm so excited. I was home one day watching Good Morning America, and in comes a segment about GlamourGals and this force of nature, Rachel Doyle, who shares her experience about, not having access or the amount of time that she wanted with her grandmother, and how they shared this beautiful, commonality of beauty and all things wellness and self-care. And so she took that pain point and created this amazing platform. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Miss Rachel Doyle, CEO and founder of GlamourGals. Thank you so much for being with me. So excited to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me. It is really an honor to be here and share more about what we do and what we want to do. So
Absolutely. So, the Care Pod is this beautiful platform where I meet with thought leaders like yourself to kind of share their why and talk about how they've taken their why and created these amazing platforms. So, share with us about, again, your journey and how this has morphed into this amazing entity across the country.
Well, thank you for all those accolades already. My journey started 25 years ago when I was a high school student. I had always been driven to service, very involved in all different things. But I think I did notice, separately from this direct passion of GlamourGals, that service had become very inhuman. And it was collect a can, walk a walk, write a check. I mean, those are all important things. Believe me, as a functioning national nonprofit, you want all of those things to happen too. But the idea of human connection and meeting and connecting with the people weren't there. And I had a loved one. My grandmother on my father's side lived in a senior home out west. I grew up in New York, and we could not visit her. It just was not possible. My parents were teachers. Between trying to get out on a school holiday or even having the budget to do so, I think a lot of people are in this position where they're not aging next to their loved ones, or even in the same house, community, or country for some. And that access to connecting is just not there. And when she passed away, I wanted to do something that honored her. But as a 16-year-old girl, I'm like, what do I like? And I liked fashion and beauty and makeup. So I thought, why not take the things that I love and am so passionate about and use them as a way to connect with others that don't have that opportunity. And it was like having a grandmother for the day. So this idea of GlamourGals, of convincing my friends, at the time it was just myself and two friends from homeroom that walked into the senior home in January of 2000, and we provided complimentary beauty makeovers to the residents living there. And it really was more than just a beauty makeover. There's something really special about the element of touch in service. So this idea of applying foundation or cream to someone's face, or giving someone a hand massage and painting their nails, and all of a sudden it's the conversation and the companionship that kind of override this before and after beauty moment. And I think for anyone in a crisis, I think we're seeing right now very real crisis is happening around us. The first things people are gravitating towards are those self-care items. And I think in the longer term, why GlamourGals has sustained itself for so long, and what makes it so unique to people and exciting for people to be a part of, is that it really resonates with the idea of human connection in our communities. And it's conversation, companionship, and the element of human touch. And so much of that is lost in so much of our communities. So the idea that we're now bringing teens and seniors together in that way, very thoughtfully, and of course, that's not the only thing that sustained Glamour Gals. I love the idea that it sits on this leadership platform for young people, young women especially, and that it's all based in intergenerational service. So it's a leadership platform based in intergenerational service. So there's that other aspect that I think is really exciting to talk about, and how that's driving us in the future of being an organization that people look towards to connect generations in a meaningful way, but also provide the tools and the resources for the people doing that in a smart and efficient way.
Absolutely. And then you are kind of creating this train the trainer. So you not only have the mentorship of the elder, and the wisdom that they're imparting, but you're imparting, a skill set, interpersonal communication, eye contact, common courtesy, very basic, fundamental, kindness that we have lost in this kind of techie generation. So it's just incredible. It's incredible.
You tapped into such an important aspect of our organization, and that's mentorship. And mentorship is something that is ingrained in so many different layers. When you peel back the onion that is Glamour Gals, you have the mentorship between the teen and the senior at the makeover. You have the mentorship of the teen to teen, peer to peer in their Glamour Gals chapter at school. You have the mentorship even within internally our organization. We now have alumni of our organization sitting on boards and councils. So we've created this incredible pipeline of engagement that follows a young person through as they age themselves. And it's an organization where teens enjoy it. Parents love that their teens are enjoying something that they love. And it's really caring for a sandwich generation of people, where there are, parents who have kids who can become chapter leaders. They have aging parents, and they themselves want a way to activate in some way. And that is the beauty of humankind, that they are excited, and you give them on ramps that make sense and make it so relevant to them. You tapped into such a core part of the teen aspect. I love to share that Glamour Gals is transformative for young people because it gives them the opportunity to realize these rich intergenerational experiences and then use that for personal, academic, and professional success. And these experiences propel them forward. And I can't tell you how many times I get an email almost daily at this point, which is kind of cool and exciting in a way, that there's this momentum of people saying, I was a Glamour Gals volunteer 10 years ago, 4 years ago, 20 years ago. I now live in Shanghai, Austin, Texas, California, New York. And I was so moved by that activity. I'd love to do X. There's a power in that movement that you create.
Absolutely. And it's a transferable life skill, and also that beauty is within. That, hi, me is 16 and I'm insecure and I don't know, walking into myself, right? You're looking at someone who might be 80 or 90 that's saying that can not only impart what we said, the leadership, the interpersonal, but can see the beauty in the youth and the contribution that they have. And that young person can look back to that older person and see the beauty of their wisdom, that beauty, and learn that beauty comes from within. Like, it's so moving to me on so many levels.
There is so much confidence that comes with being compassionate. And I think that it's so important to recognize that teenagers, when they're able to activate that switch to exercising their compassionate muscle and going beyond all of their insecurities, all the things they thought someone who's aging or an older person would be like, those preconceived notions that maybe create fear, even in reaching out to another generation. To me, that is such a powerful skill to activate and not just turn on, but repeatedly exercise it. And that is, again, a hallmark of Glamour Gals, that it's not just, during the holidays, once in a while, or just for this. And yes, teenagers can be driven by, points in their life that make them do something. But to me, when they're placed into our program and the opportunity and given this opportunity to volunteer with us, it's those repeated actions over and over again that start to prime them to say, oh wow, this is like something that's changing me. And within our leadership programming, we have training, mentorship, and communication and recognition. There's this digital platform that allows them to journal. And our goal is that these journals become reflections that, although, some teenagers will literally say, I went here, I did this, then this happened. And, they write like that, but it's just the fact that they're writing and starting that. I mean, you have to start somewhere, and so much of intention and goals and just realizing a reflection starts with writing something down. And we give them that space. And over the past 20 plus years, we've collected over 10,000 journals from teens.
Wow.
And I think it's just a testament to how important and how powerful reflection can be. And we offer that within our programming.
Yes.
This February, celebrate Black excellence, unity, and empowerment at the Impactful Black Collective. On February 22nd, 2025, join us at the Hilton Inn in Hamilton, New Jersey for an evening that will heal, empower, and educate. Network with trailblazers, showcase your business, and be inspired by powerful presentations designed to uplift our community. Vendors, don't miss out on your chance to shine. Limited spaces are available to connect your brand with passionate, like-minded individuals. Together, we celebrate history. Together, we build the future. Impactful Black Collective. Heal, empower, educate. Get your tickets now and secure your spot. Let's make an impact this February.
So take me through the process. Take me from a standpoint of entities and how kind of GlamourGals gets into, partnership with both the schools that funnel the nursing homes, assisted livings, the like, and how you partner with said homes where your chapters are. How does somebody create a chapter? All the things.
That demand is always, to me, a runaway train, because sometimes it's the senior home community reaching out, and we're trying to meet that demand for our in-person services, the teens connecting them, and then the teens reaching out and trying to coordinate that. So there is a human element in that. We do have a program staff in New York City. We're a human first, but we've always been driven by technology. So using technology in smart ways to get in front of different groups. And the third part I would say is that when you are relevant, when you are filling a demand in society, people will find you. And again, going back to technology, they'll Google you and they reach out and be like, I want to start a chapter. And it might be my daughter wants to start a chapter. I'm a teacher at a school. I'd love for my students to be involved. These are all examples of it. And we've amassed a database of senior homes. We're always looking to increase that database. You can go on our website and share the link to, are you a senior home that would love our services? And how can we start, connecting you with teens that want to do these services? And of course, there's sometimes a gap, but we have other programming, which we can also talk about that was introduced inadvertently through the 2020 pandemic, that has become such an incredible and powerful on-ramp. It's called My Dear Friend. But so a student reaches out, they're able to submit information online, they'll get resources from us, and it starts them kind of on this pipeline of engagement with us. A quick call with our office, providing them with materials that they need, and sort of what step is it that you don't know a senior home? Is it that you have a senior home, but now you have to get approved by your school? So it kind of depends what direction they need help with, because although we have incredible, natural born leaders in our organization, there are a whole cohort of students that, they're not natural born leaders and they need that support. And we call it GG National is your best friend and biggest advocate. So we are that resource along the way. So although they might not be an active chapter, we will actively work with them to support them in starting their chapter. And then same thing with senior homes. As much as we can do is bring them into our database, and more recently activate them with our My Dear Friend card writing program. That was something when it seems like milestones are difficult years for GlamourGals, but in our 20th year, we had those big Mylar balloons ready in the office, which we did not go back to for a good year and a half. We paused our programming in March 2020 and immediately reached out to our stakeholders, our seniors, our teens, our donor community, and said, how are you doing? What are you doing, and how can we move forward together? And within 7 days, even less than a week, we were up and scheduling programming that was, COVID safe, that was people safe, that was engaging and impactful, to make sure that those community connections stayed, even in times of immense
Restriction.
stress, catastrophe, restriction. I mean, you name every pain point you can think of.
Absolutely.
It was a pause and a reset, but we did a lot of things that I love to say are cocktail conversations that maybe didn't work and are not scalable, but we tried them. We wanted to be open. That's the entrepreneurial spirit of our organization. But we did discover that this card writing program called My Dear Friend, every card starts with My Dear Friend, because we would connect with the activities directors, which are usually our point of contact for regular core GlamourGals teen volunteer chapters in high school and college. And they might have anywhere between 18 residents or 750. And they are, definitely a group of people who are usually overworked, underpaid, understaffed, high turnover. So it's definitely a challenging role to connect with. But that's really the people who think about the quality of life for seniors.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That role is in charge of the quality of life of seniors. So that's a whole nother discussion, I think, on the senior care landscape. But from our end, they are the people that we look to support and connect with, and our teens do that. And so this card writing at the time, it was literally like, what can we give you that slips underneath a door frame? People were in their bedrooms, locked in their bedrooms. And we didn't want any senior to feel left out, because always at a GlamourGals makeover, there's always one. Everybody loves Edith. Edith is a talkative, funny one. Everybody loves, it's easy to talk and get Edith started, so we didn't want to leave anyone
alienate anyone. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what we found is that thousands of people walk through our digital doors, and we were able to not only now 4 years later use this program as an on-ramp for engagement for anyone, any age, from 4 years old to 99 years old, and even their furry friends in between, to be a part of card writing opportunities that maybe connect with senior homes that don't have a GlamourGals chapter just yet, or help us organize students that are younger than the GlamourGals chapter age, like 8th graders, as a way to reach out and do that first call to the senior home in their community and set that foundation of communication. So when they get into high school, they actually have somewhat of a relationship with the senior home in their community.
It's already established.
And
Amazing.
Even more so, getting companies involved with this, and really bringing back culture and community within corporate America that's been lost as everybody exited the physical office space. People were, coming onto our interactive workshops and card writing and being able to connect and finding such beautiful things about their coworkers, making it personal. There was maybe someone on the Zoom or even in their group that they didn't know had a loved one in a senior home, and were agile enough to adjust. And so since its inception in March 2020, we've actually facilitated over 200,000 cards to seniors in the United States, Canada, and even globally. So
wow. And I mean, look at the legacy that began with your grandmother. It's incredible. You have to take a minute for that. That began with your grandmother. I mean,
you forget that now 25 years later, that you're like, how did this start? And you know what? Sadly, I think, my grandmother, who was in care, the landscape of understanding Alzheimer's or even dementia, the research wasn't there 25 years ago. So even though the opportunities for different types of care, and, we couldn't move her, and she ended up, she stopped eating at the end of her life. She was 93, but looking back I was able to learn about her, actually more about her when I started GlamourGals, because I wasn't able to actually get those stories from her specifically. And it was actually through creating GlamourGals that my dad shared about the fact that she actually was a hairstylist on Elizabeth Arden's Fifth Avenue Red Door Spa.
Oh,
And back in the
wow.
day, and she did like all these really famous, like I think George Gershwin's mother's hair or things like
Oh,
that.
I
And
love
all
it.
these stories. And so he was starting to retell these stories. And I just felt like, oh, wow, how cool would it have been to have the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation and connect. So whenever I think about expanding the programming of GlamourGals, I do it with a lot of intention, a thoughtful intention that started with human connection and conversation. And then, of course, during difficult times like the pandemic, having a handwritten card. Like, you have to stop, and there's no backspace. You got to think about what you want to write,
Intention,
intention.
intentionality. Yeah. So I know you have to go and you've given me this precious time. I want to land the plane, I should say. Tell me, okay, if you're not a teen, if you're somebody that wants to get involved, that, just resonates with you on so many levels in, transparent leadership, purposeful, giving, intentionality. How does one do that?
Well, the easiest thing is always to go onto social and start to follow our journey at Glamour Gals. So literally at Glamour Gals, going to our website, glamourgals.org, and sifting around the pages, clicking through the senior homes tab. If you scroll to the bottom, joining our e-news. These are such easy lists for us to kind of welcome ourselves into your inbox, into your feed, to let you know of all the important work that we're doing. The next step would be start clicking through and telling us your intentions and excitement to participate. So in that contact us tab, sharing about a connection you have with a school, a senior home, even a group that you're organizing. Because like I shared, we have this opportunity to activate with our My Dear Friend card writing campaign throughout the year. We've definitely focused it in the future. If you are in New York City, we have our marquee leadership events. Over the next 5 years, I'm creating a strategic plan, and I'm putting out to the GlamourGals community the different ways that I want to grow these GlamourGals hubs of resources and people who really are passionate about our mission and who want to activate, even if they are in Los Angeles or Ohio or wherever you might be. And laying that foundation. And of course, last, make a donation. It can be any amount. We're a 501c3 tax deductible organization, and giving us resources to continue our outreach and our growth that we do is of course key for anything. In-kind donations. So if any connections to beauty companies or other companies that you feel could be resources. We do a lot of shipping to our chapters. So USPS or like Amazon gift cards type of thing, like, can always be helpful. But again, it's, looking at what we're doing and seeing where your passions can be connected to us is always a win-win. We open our arms broadly to the community and really want to welcome people into this next 25 years of GlamourGals.
Absolutely. I love it. Such an honor, such an honor, such an honor. See a lot of ways to potentially collab with you myself. So we'll chat offline on those things. But just a wonderful, bright, shining light you are to your communities and to young women who can see the power of community, of philanthropy, but also of the opportunity to rise yourself. So I wish you all good things.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for this platform to share And, it's just an honor. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Great information right from the source. For more information on how to caregive like a boss, check out impactfulcaregiving.com. Want to be a guest on the show? Contact us at CarePod at impactfulcaregiving.com.